There is something extremely unique about Wisconsin and Wisconsin people. And the environment at Lambeau epitomizes that. But like these Japanese felt that, right? They were like, I feel like I'm at home, and no one's, that pressure that they feel, which is also why when we go over to Japan, we get to enjoy this perfect place. But it was so nice for them to just be like, I'm just accepted here. Having these moments where it's just like, we're all just coming together around this thing. And again, it wasn't initially about making the movie. It's about, hey, we all love this. We're going to hang out. Like that to me is just like what it's all about.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Milwaukee Uncut. If you're a Packer fan or you're just wondering what it's like to host 20 rabid Packer fans from Japan all the way in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and how that adventure went, this is a good one for you. I'm joined by entrepreneur Ty Morse and YouTube sensation Craig Benzine, who put together the documentary No Packers, No Life. Before diving in, just want to thank our partners, Nicolay Law, the Midwest law firm, Three Sheeps, the beer Wisconsin drinks, and Drink Wisconsin Beverage Company. Let's dive in. The new documentary, No Packers, No Life, heartwarming. I thought it was heartwarming, uplifting documentary about the Japanese Packers cheering squad coming to Green Bay and having an amazing experience, two cultures coming together. Number of celebrities in it as well. You got star power, Mason Crosby. You got former USA World Cup soccer star Jay Demerit, local ex-golf mogul Luke Larson. I don't know how you got him in there, but that was a big
tough to do, but I'm glad we made it happen.
Yeah. Do you have any money left in the bank account after his cameo?
He drained it, man. He drained it.
Hopefully it'll be worth it. I think you'll make it on the back end. But yeah, that couldn't have been easy to go into the amount of debt you guys had to get that guy to be on camera in a backwards hat, dancing and singing, and then even his name in the credit too added a lot of credibility.
Broke the bank, but we knew it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why we're here, though.
Astute businessmen right there. Speaking of, Ty Morse, entrepreneur, owner of too many businesses, as he said. Canning manufacturing facility.
Oh, yeah. I was unaware of this business until today.
So many. Yeah, a lot of e-commerce, selling health and beauty products online, digital marketing, software, text messaging software company. I don't know. Stuff's not as interesting as the movie.
Travels the world.
Yeah.
Goes to
World
Tokyo
travel.
a lot.
Goes to Japan every 2 months or something.
I was saying he is like a young Dos Equis man.
Yeah, that's what you said before he showed up.
He's got nice hair, good beard. I think he'll age well. I think you got that locked up in your future.
I think so.
That'd be fantastic.
The world's most interesting man.
We got Craig Benzine.
Hello.
Here as well, also known as Wheezy Waiter. Not quite as exciting as the future Dos Equis man, but still has over 1 million YouTube subscribers. So
I have more YouTube subscribers than he does.
You do. You do. This guy just kind of flies under the radar.
I like it
right now.
Way.
Yeah,
right now.
That is more interesting, I suppose.
So a filmmaker, director on this one, editor, frontman for the Driftless Pony Club.
That's right.
One of my favorite bands.
Oh, you're an artist too, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'd much rather listen to Craig's band than any of my music. But yes,
that's how we know each other is through bands, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. You want to speak on that and dive in how you guys know each other and then how did this documentary come together?
Yeah. Well, way back in college, I formed a band with some friends called Driftless Pony Club in Madison, and we had friends in Minneapolis and Twin Cities area who were also bands, and so we would go up there all the time. And he was just some young kid who was just a part of that group. And you were in college at the time, I think, right? Or weren't you?
Yeah, when I started seeing you guys, I was probably ending college, but then I started the record label.
That's right. You started the record label with the Minneapolis Twin Cities bands. I always want to say Minneapolis, but it's Twin Cities.
Do you have a record label as well?
Yeah, that's how the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I started that in the Twin Cities, and the bands in the Twin Cities that were there that I loved, they were good friends with Craig and his band, and so they would always play together. Mm-hmm. So I would go to the art shows for our record label, and they were always playing with these guys who were in Madison at the time, and I was like, this band's amazing. And that was Craig's band. And then we just started hanging out because I mean, they're one of my favorite bands ever, Driftless Pony Club. So that's when that's how we first started hanging. That was like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And then you really popped off in the business world. And you came across, you went to Japan a lot, and you came across these Green Bay Packer fans in Japan. And you said, well, let's make a documentary about them, basically.
Yeah, but also in this meantime, so we knew each other from the music scene and doing that. And Craig's band had plays all over and had done really well. But in the meantime, Craig became a YouTube star, and so that's kind of, we're almost to the complete intersection. So Craig's off in YouTube stardom, and I'm traveling the world doing business, and it brings us to this story, No Packers, No Life, which, I guess you said, how did this, come to life? It was literally, as Craig said, I mean, I think I'm, there every couple months, and I've been there just so many times, and there's 40 million people in Tokyo, 40 million. On any given block, there's like 100 bars on one block, in Tokyo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you've never been, picture Manhattan going on for hours and hours in every direction. Mm-hmm. That's what Tokyo's like. And I've never, ever, ever seen a Packer jersey. And
in Japan, you've seen them
in Japan. Never. In all of my, all of a sudden, I see, we're going in to do karaoke, because that's what you do in Japan. You go to karaoke. And these dudes I see a dude in a Packer jersey. And I'm like, what? And I start talking to him, and I'm like, what's going on? But he doesn't speak any English. And my Japanese isn't great. Like, I can get by, but it's not great. So literally we just start naming players to each other. This is the first interaction I have with this guy. And we just name players back and forth, like, 40 years of players. Mm-hmm. And other Japanese dudes start coming out of the woodwork, like putting their jerseys on and standing next to him and joining this conversation. And that's like 20 minutes of player names. And then, finally I figured out through my business partner, Suzuki, that they were there to watch a game. So we were going to karaoke and sing like, Bon Jovi. Mm-hmm. And they're there in the karaoke place to watch their favorite game from the year. And
not just, they were rewatching a game they'd already seen. That's how.
Yeah, that's how passionate they are. They were rewatching a game they'd already seen.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go. There's plenty more to that story, but that was the initial meeting.
And what year was that around?
That was 2017.
So you got them up to Lambeau relatively quickly, because the game that was shown in the doc is a 2017 Bengals game, right?
Yeah, it was literally. That happened. I meet these guys. I'm like, who are you? They're like, we're the Japanese Packers cheering team. I'm like, what?
Team, not club.
Team. The Japanese Packers cheering team. And they're like, we are Packer fans. And in talking to them, it was instantly clear that these were like the most rabid fans I'd ever been around. And I've been to, my friends are from Green Bay. I've been to tons of games at Lambeau. Like, these guys were obsessed. And I, two of my best friends from growing up, Brandon Grant and Jay Demerit, I called both of them, after a couple, karaoke tunes that night, a couple Japanese highballs, got on the phone, and I called
like 2 a.m. there and like 10 in the morning here or something.
And I said, guys, you aren't going to believe who I just stumbled across, the Japanese Packers cheering team. And both of those dudes were like, what? Like, have they ever been to Green Bay? And that was also a funny part of the conversation I was having with those guys as I was learning about them in that first encounter. I'm like, have you guys ever been to a game? Most of them were like, a game? We've never been to America. Like, they didn't speak English. They hadn't been to America. Forget a game. So talking to Jay and Brandon, I think, it was hatched. The idea was hatched very late in the evening, I think, for me, early for them. Like, we got to get these guys here somehow. And that's kind of how it started. It was the three of us talking about it. And then there was a long journey before and actually several years before we got, we're fortunate enough to, get Craig involved.
Yeah. So they went on the initial trip, got all the footage, and then eventually you came to me. You're like, "Hey, you want to make this movie?"
So you knew you wanted to do a documentary. You just didn't know who or what or.
Yeah, I've always been like, I have a film production company. I've always kind of supported documentaries or been an executive producer, so funded them or worked on ideas. And this one, I knew I loved the story, but I'm not a filmmaker, right? I love films, and I have a production company that will help execute films, but I'm not a director or an editor. And with this project, like I had been, just as a friend, I'd been a huge fan of Craig's stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's just super creative, super funny. And I knew that this story was like, there was a lot of passion to it, but there was also a lot of humor. And I knew I think it had to be told by somebody from Wisconsin. And Craig hadn't done a documentary. And he's, I think he's done absolutely mind-blowingly amazing job with this. But I think I knew how good of a job he could do maybe before he did.
I didn't know.
What was your initial reaction when he came to you with this idea?
My initial reaction was, I don't know that I will have time. This is a lot, and I'm making videos on YouTube. So I told him, so there was a bit of back and forth about like my ability to just have time to do it, and but eventually, like he convinced me and to take it on, and I have always been interested in the idea. Like I knew that he invited them to the Packer game. I knew that he was sort of in the beginnings of making something out of it, and I was always intrigued by the idea, and I always thought I could put it together, but I just didn't know that I would have the time. But eventually I said yes, and it did take me a while because I didn't have a lot of time. But at one point, a couple years after like slowly putting things together, I just took off I just took a break from YouTube, and I just took like 4 months off of YouTube and just focused on the documentary, which I'd never done before. That's the longest I've ever taken a break since I started making videos, and I finally got the whole thing put together.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I've spent my entire life having my more talented friends get involved in projects that I'm excited about. And that was the same for this one. Like, I'm not a director or an editor. Like, I couldn't make this movie, but I knew I wanted to do this project. So it was just another thing where like one of my extremely talented friends I rope in, and then I think Craig and I started to really we've been friends for a long time, but we bonded deeply over experience because I think, he fell in love with Japan and the Japanese, and we're both from Wisconsin, and like telling a story about the place that we're from, the state that we love, a team that we love, combined with this, this extremely different culture on the other side of the planet, was just really compelling and fun, and he and I just got into it. But it took 7 years.
It was a lot. I mean, I went to Japan with Ty to get more interviews to do this whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and that was incredible.
So was that post after they came up for the game?
Yeah, after they came to the
so
game.
That was
a
little more recent.
Yeah, and then he flew me to Japan, and I got more interviews, and
So that the first time you've been over there before?
First time, yeah.
How was it?
Only time, and awesome, amazing. I want to go back. Let's go back and show them the movie.
So I've promised Craig this. We're going to go back and show the movie in Tokyo.
That's awesome.
They have vending machines everywhere with for people from Wisconsin, this would be incredible. Like just like cans of Highball, like cocktails, vending machines of cocktails everywhere.
Yeah, for people in Wisconsin, this is important. I think this is important.
That's what you got out of your Japan visit.
Yeah,
they got vending machines with cocktails in them.
Well, the first night, Japanese Highball is whiskey and soda water, right?
Okay.
And it's the most popular drink there. It's what they all drink. And they're healthier, so they'll have one beer followed by maybe 10
Sounds really healthy. Sounds like they fit right
longest living people on the planet.
Hard to argue.
But I think the first night Craig is in Japan, and I'm like, check this out, buddy. And we just go to one of the vending machines and we get a cocktail, and then we
got on the train.
Yeah, and we're talking about, we got to film the next day and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we're talking about what we're going to film when we're there, and we're kind of planning things as we cruise around Tokyo just with because you can have an open container in the city, and you just...
And also the trains are super convenient. You walk and you take the train everywhere. It's incredible. You don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Of course.
Have you ever been?
No.
Yeah.
We got to get you there, Richie.
Yeah.
I love crowds and condensed areas and claustrophobia. I think I'd have a great time there. I like the cocktail vending machine idea and just cruising around on a train. I don't know if I'd do very well in it.
We'll get you to the park, man. It's a wide open space.
Bree would love to go. Bree wants to go there. Bree's fun and adventurous. Yeah. So, like, what do you hope people get out of this, and any main surprises that you all learned putting this together?
For me, like I didn't when I started making it, I didn't know what the story was. It took me a while to figure out what the story is going to be based on the footage, and then after a while, I figured out what the whole thing was about, which was...
Did Ty just dump 100 hours of footage on you and say, here you go, basically?
Well, how do I make a story out of it?
It's always fun as an editor.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of was writing the story as I was editing, and I think what it really becomes about for me is just... It seems obvious after the fact, but it's like it's a shared passion. It's everybody coming together around a shared passion. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter who you are. If you all share a passion, it's a way to get together. It's like Japanese people from way across the other side of the world can love this team as much or more than people who live right here in Wisconsin, which is incredible. So to me, it's really just about we're all not that different, and we can all share a passion no matter where we come from.
So it was funny in the video because it seemed like initially you thought 8 people might come over for the game, and then it got to 15, and then 20, and 25, and then you bring in heavy hitter Luke Larson to join the party. I mean, it seemed like the trip just kind of took on a life of its own. What was that like? And then it was fun seeing their initial reactions for the first time in America and in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, it was unreal how it snowballed. And it was also, I mean, the amount of people that came out of the woodwork to help. So, like... this thing starts going and the amount of people start coming, and
you're all hosting them at houses and friends' houses, and it was big community.
Massive community effort, really led by Brandon Grant and his wife, Ashley Grant, and then Jay Demerit and his family. Those guys really, they were like, because they're from Green Bay, they just rallied all the troops, and like the amount of support was crazy because now you're bringing, 30 people, and how are we going to get them around? Like we had to rent a bus, and we had to like cater food, and we thought the homestay idea was like, everybody was really excited about that. We thought that'd be more fun than just like a hotel, but they had to coordinate, like everybody's got families and kids. Right. But even that part of it, so you have all of this coming together, like Craig said, like the whole thing is just humans coming together. The kind of center that started it all is the Green Bay Packers. But from there, all these beautiful human relationships were born of people who like also have kids and also love, soccer and also love all these other things. And they love hanging out and they love partying. And so I think how the Packers brought us all together is unbelievable. And then the community that rallied around it. It would have been impossible to pull off without that entire Green Bay community and those families and all those people that put their time and effort and energy into it.
And I just want to say I'm glad I wasn't a part of any of the planning of that. That pretty stressful.
I would.
Yeah.
I can't do any of that. That would have been tough.
Yeah.
Do you think the Japanese may be the most underrated drinking culture out there? Because when you think of drinking, I mean, you think of Wisconsin, maybe Europe. We've got Oktoberfest going on in Munich right now as we're speaking, but it seemed like especially the Japanese aren't the biggest people. Like pound for pound, it seemed like they could hang. And now you're talking about vending machines with cocktails in them. I didn't know all of this.
They are professional drinkers over there.
Yeah, I think extremely underrated because most people. It's a difficult place to get to. It's easier, for Americans to go to Europe. There's a lot more English spoken in Europe.
And you think of Japan, you think of like very clean, very well put together.
That's all true.
Yeah.
And then throwing that volume of alcohol in does not seem to fit any of those descriptions.
You
It's
can,
interesting.
any night going home in Tokyo, there will be humans laying just like this dog here on the sidewalk and street, completely unperturbed, just resting.
Unbothered.
Unbothered.
Just resting.
There's, they don't have to worry about their wallets.
They could have gone back to,
yes,
but
they
not
missed
to.
the train, maybe got a little bit too drunk, and they'll just wake up, dust off in the morning, change their shirt at their office, and go right back to work.
Not much hangovers over there either. They just
culturally, internally, there's a hangover, but externally, you're not allowed to show that. That is weakness. So.
Yeah, they do. I think there's isn't it? It's part of the job to drink. A lot of the jobs, right?
Yeah. So
my dad goes over there a decent amount, and he's told me some stories of like the eating and drinking.
Yeah, it's part of the
dinners,
job.
stuff like that.
It's not. It's they call them salarymen, and those are businessmen in Japan.
Yeah.
And if your boss says we're going out drinking tonight, which is pretty much every night, it's not like you can say, "Oh, my kid has a soccer game. I can't go tonight." Like you can't say that; you'll lose your job. So
it's not necessarily a good thing.
But they're professional in that Monday through Friday it is everybody's out every night, and typically on Saturday.
I try not to go out so I can actually get stuff accomplished.
Sunday is called the liver holiday. That is the day of
the Sabbath.
The liver. Sunday is the liver holiday in Japan. But they're wonderful. They're such wonderful partiers because their culture, and this is why they're such amazing Packer fans. Their culture is restrained all the time because it truly is. I mean, everything, there's not a speck of trash anywhere. There's no crime. It's perfection. Everything runs on time. If the train's 2 seconds late, the guy who's driving the train gets fired. Like it is so intense that when they find something they love, like Packers, and they combine partying, which allows them an acceptable way to release, this energy just comes flying out.
They seem like a great time.
Such a great time. Like every time, such a great time. I mean, Craig found that. Every night. It's hard to do, especially as I've gotten older. I mean, you're going to go out and hang out every night.
Not to mention having jet lag, like extreme jet lag, right when you get there.
Yeah, that's what a 20-hour trip to get over there.
And I was like stuffed up as soon as I got there. Like that happens apparently.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. And then partying every night. So,
but just a house party, like you see in the film that house party with Luke Larson's attendance, and you
a lot of shot skis.
A lot of shot skis, but Wisconsin people are such great partiers too, and we're also so welcoming, excited. Like everybody from all over in Green Bay, they'd never been to Japan, they'd never met these people. They came to that house and partied and loved every second. Yeah. It was just like these two wonderful cultures mixing.
Yeah, I think the like sort of, I guess you'd call it repressed or hidden emotion culture of Japan is opposite Wisconsin. I think like the way we just interact with each other is much more open, much more we're gonna share our feelings.
Lambeau is such a special place. It's so special. Like we go up there for a decent amount of tailgates for the show and stuff like that, and the opposing fans are always just blown away on the environment that the stadium's in the middle of a neighborhood. They're just shocked by that.
There's no better place in the world.
And how friendly everyone is to the opposing fans. And a lot of them don't pay for a drink when they come, even though they have opposing colors on. It might be a little different than the Bears fans, but when people come from New Orleans or even Detroit the other day, stuff like that. They're just shocked.
I think that's very...
And it's awesome.
It's
Mason
so
Crosby
awesome.
talks about that in the documentary.
Yeah.
Says like how the fans, the Bears fans who come up are always so shocked at how nice everyone is.
But that's why I think this worked so amazingly well. Like there is something extremely unique about Wisconsin and Wisconsin people, and the environment at Lambeau epitomizes that. But like these Japanese felt that, right? They were like, I feel like I'm at home, and no one's that pressure that they feel. Which is also why when we go over to Japan, we get to enjoy this perfect place. But it was so nice for them to just be like, I'm just accepted here. People are just so, and you see it in the film, like when we're sitting out there tailgating with them, everyone's coming by like, whoa, are you guys from Japan? This is so great. Like, that's unbelievable, man. Like, it makes me so proud of Wisconsin.
Yeah. It was funny how kind of shocked they were that there was a professional team there in a stadium. I think I remember the part when the guy was like doing the math of population 100,000, stadium 80,000, and it's full every single week. It just didn't register that literally the entire city is in that stadium on Sunday. Obviously, people come from all over, but just the people in and around the stadium is larger than the entire population size on every Sunday, which is, you don't get that anywhere else in professional sports.
Yeah, it's a very unique place.
Another hilarious part of the story that just, Craig nails it in there, but so much of it, when we were like, hey, come on over, and like, no, we'll get you homestays, we'll take care of everything. Like, in their culture, that never happened. So they were so suspicious.
Really?
Yeah, not because they're wonderful people.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, in Japan, you have to. It takes a long time to get to know somebody.
Yep.
There's a lot of formality to it.
Yep.
You have to have references. There's all these things. I mean,
Interesting. Okay.
They went and called, my business partner in Japan, Suzuki. They're like, is this Thai guy real? Do you actually do business with him? I mean, to the point, like this T-shirt that I'm wearing, I remember like I made a bunch of these and gave it to them. And they're like, well, how much is this? I'm like, no, it's just a gift. They're like, well, how are you making money from this?
Yeah, why would you do this?
Yeah, it was so funny. And then what they realized though, all of these people, everybody was coming together to do things for them. I mean, the grants, the merits, everybody was just happy to have them and host and do these things. And then they got it. And now we have an amazing relationship. But that initial time they were just like, yeah,
what's wrong with these people? It's funny. We interviewed some Commanders fans, at the game a couple weeks ago, and obviously they're not from Japan. They're just from the East Coast. And one of the women was like, "People are so nice. It's freaking me out, but I like it." I was like on the clip or something. Like,
yeah, it's not just like
it's really weird. It's freaking me out, but it's great to see. It's refreshing. It's like.
Yeah, it's not just a Japan versus America thing. It's a Wisconsin versus everyone else sort of thing.
Yeah, it was cool how comfortable they.
Yeah, it was fun how you guys rolled out the red carpet for them. Obviously, I'm sure you have a ton of connections in Green Bay, but just I think it was a judge who had the Super Bowl ring, who you brought him in.
That's Luke's uncle.
Is it? Okay, that's really. Heavy hitter. Heavy hitter genetics over in the Larson family. But having the Super Bowl ring and having people take pictures. And then I think my favorite part was when Mace creeped up behind the guy who was wearing his jersey, and the guy just lost his shit, basically. It was so funny.
Dude,
oh, yeah.
And how about...
And great. And,
it's
heartwarming
my
stuff.
favorite part of the whole thing,
yeah,
I think.
It's so crazy heartwarming because that guy... He had no clue that was going to happen, right? Obviously, it was a surprise, but he has his whole life since he got on the Packers been obsessed with Mason Crosby. Like, I've never seen anybody love a kicker so much. It's like he loved this guy so much. He just talked about Mason Crosby all the time.
A grown man was crying.
Yeah.
In tears. And we get a little bit in the film, but what blew my mind, and again, this is more like to the Wisconsin people, like, Luke was part of this, Jay, Brandon. So Mason kicks the game winner of that game. Sue is the Japanese guy who's crying. They carry him out of the stadium as if he kicked the game winner, take him into the parking lot at Lambeau, then recreate. They set up
I did see you guys kicking
field goal and have him kick. He said he had never kicked a football in his life. They have him kick the football through the uprights. Then they carry him around the parking lot. Like right after the game.
This was after the
This
Packer
is
game?
right after the game that Mason kicks the game winner of the first game they came to. Mason kicks the game winner. Then they just treat Sue like he's Mason, take him out to the parking lot, have him kick it, and then parade him around the parking lot on their shoulders.
That's so funny. Yeah, I do remember that part now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew that entire context. I did see him kicking and being carried around. That's incredible, though.
Yeah, it was so
Mason's I got to play golf with him once. Such a nice guy.
just unbelievable guy, man. He's just
Oh yeah, I got to interview him. He was just completely. It was like just hanging out.
Yeah, he's really just fantastic, and he's good friends with Jay Demerit, who's my buddy, and because Mason loves soccer, and he was so supportive of this. I mean, to come and show up on that field that day, I mean, changed that guy's his entire life.
That is memory. That is a moment he will never forget.
When I was watching the raw footage before editing it, I saw that part. And I started crying. I got
I was
watching it.
I was getting a little choked up.
Okay.
It was cool because just seeing how much that and how much.
And I'm like,
people
okay, I'm going to build the whole movie around this moment. Is basically what I decided right then. Yeah.
What did you guys learn the most from doing this whole project? Or what are you most proud of putting this thing together?
I think for me, I love Wisconsin and I love the Packers, but I love doing things with my friends so much. Like I said it before, I just have so many amazing, brilliant, talented friends, and being able to put this movie together with them has been amazing, but also the experiences. So like this whole experience of making, helping Craig, write and direct a film, and then having my buddies, Jay and Brandon and Luke and Bill and all these people involved in this experience, and bringing so many people together, not just for the movie, but just for life, my family, we're not here very long. So it's just like having these moments where it's just like, we're all just coming together around this thing. And again, it wasn't initially about making the movie. It's about, hey, we all love this. We're going to hang out. Like that to me is just like what it's all about.
I think I learned so many. I'm a changed person because of this documentary, for sure. I think partly, I learned I learned how to make a documentary. I learned how to edit together multiple interviews.
That's what I got out of this. I learned how to do it then.
Yeah. No, but and then all the experiences in Japan, seeing the other side of the world. But I think what I really, the biggest thing is like I think I have more pride in where I'm from Wisconsin. Like realizing how special this place is. Like I didn't really think that deeply about how unique Green Bay is and how unique Lambeau is and that whole culture. Because growing up here, I didn't know what else there was, and now I understand how special it is, and I have more pride from being from here. So.
Very cool. And the premiere October 15th.
October 15th. That's the
People
premiere.
Open to the public. I believe you can get tickets for it.
Yeah, tickets are on nopackersnolife.com. October 15th, and then
where is that? What Marcus Theater is that at?
It's at the Brookfield, Majestic.
Majestic.
Yeah.
The Majestic, and then the actual, so the premiere is October 15th, but then it's in Marcus Theaters October 17th. So people can go see it in theaters
in
then.
all of them, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exclusively in Marcus Theaters.
In Marcus,
Yeah. And Marcus Theaters is incredible for doing this.
Yeah. It's another part of the story.
Good people over there.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable. This part of the story, like it comes full circle. Like I literally just grew up going to see all these amazing movies in Marcus Theaters. And the fact that they've supported this film and now it's going to be in their theaters here is just like mind blowing. Just like the story just keeps.
I had when I started making this, I didn't know where this was going to end up. Like this is like amazing that it's going to show in the movie theaters that I went to see movies as a kid. This is incredible.
That's awesome. Before we let you go, Ty, do you have a a guide to host out-of-towners for a Packer game and throw an amazing tailgate? What are some of the things that need to be included in there?
I'll tell you immediately, to be honest, what needs to be included to host out-of-towners for a Packer game. Brandon and Ashley Grant, Jay DeMerit, Luke Larson, Bill Sims, Jake Mraz. Like, these are the people that, like, you bring these people together and everything happens. And what makes it so awesome is, I think, you know, the casualness of it. Just like, get a bunch of good people together, hang, get a bus, cruise over to Lambeau. A couple other highlights: Zip and Pippin. Take him to the Zip and Pippin.
Yeah.
We can get Luke's uncle to show him the Super Bowl ring.
You think they can have him do a fake practice, football practice?
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll get. We'll get. I forgot about that. The second time they came,
Yeah.
we got a bunch of ex-players and Packer coaches, and we took. We took the Japanese over to a local high school, and we ran a full football practice.
Yeah.
like.
A lot of middle-aged people playing football is a great idea.
Yeah. I think, you know, I didn't think about that, but the documentary could be a good template for hosting anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. You got something there, Richie.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell them how much beers or stuff to pack or what to do beforehand, but football practice, visit Luke's uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you think they're going to be okay with everyone coming to their house?
Yeah. Well, it depends on who's coming. If the Japanese are coming, you have to make sure you pack enough Japanese whiskey and beer. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, practice and Luke's uncle, and that should probably do the trick.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for coming down today. Congrats on the documentary, and everyone go check it out in Marcus Theaters October 17th and beyond.
Yeah.
No
thanks,
Packers,
man.
no life.
Yeah. Appreciate you having us.